Hi, my name is Chris Woodward, and I'm a Developer Relations Engineer at MongoDB. This Lunch and Learn session will cover the Foxx Microservices framework. Foxx is a JavaScript framework for writing data-centric HTTP microservices that run directly inside of MongoDB. There are multiple ways to get started with Foxx, such as this built-in GraphQL example, which you can install through the web UI. The Foxx CLI, which we'll take a look at in this video, and there are many different community solutions for getting started with Foxx. Before moving on to the example, let's take a quick look at how Foxx works and if some of its features, considerations, and benefits. This diagram shows how Foxx runs on the MongoDB database coordinator and executes in a V8 runtime. You access the Foxx endpoints in the same way that you access the built-in MongoDB REST API via network calls. Foxx services are written in synchronous JavaScript, and as mentioned, they are executed on the coordinator in a V8 runtime, have direct access to the native MongoDB APIs and modules, and it's easy to find your own arbitrary HTTP APIs, including with GraphQL. Foxx allows you to define your own authorization with the built-in authentication module, which support for JWT, cookies, headers, OAuth 2, or you can define your own. You can validate your endpoints using the bundled Joy library, and you automatically get generated Swagger documentation for all of your routes. You can install, upgrade, delete, backup, and maintain your services however you like, such as with the Foxx CLI or even through the web UI. As the Foxx service does execute in a V8 environment, it is restricted by V8's limitations, most notably its memory limitations. Foxx services are also pure JavaScript and don't support asynchronous code. So additional benefits of using Foxx are standardizing your data access and storage logic, allowing clients to access the database using the same performance-optimized queries across all applications. Foxx also handles requests in one place, reducing the number of network hops needed between your applications and the database. Additionally, moving the authentication and authorization process for your application to Foxx lets you isolate sensitive information, reducing the need to ever send it over the network. Foxx also has namespace collections, which applies a mount point specific prefix to any given collection name to make it unique to the service, thus making it more portable. Foxx also easily integrates with external services, meaning that you can still continue using your favorite library. This video won't cover all parts that make up Foxx services, and if you'd like to get more hands-on, be sure to check out our Getting Started video playlist on our MongoDB YouTube channel. We also have guides to get you up and running that cover everything from working with routers, collections, and writing your first AQL queries in Foxx. These guides even cover advanced topics such as working with Foxx in a cluster, authentication, and session management, and more. To get started with our example, I've already installed the service by running npm install as highlighted here. We will quickly take a look at how to install and upgrade a Hello World route. This is our Hello World service that simply imports the necessary packages, creates a router, and a single route that simply returns a Hello World greeting. Once you have the Foxx CLI installed, the easiest way to get started with a new project is to run Foxx init. Foxx init sets up a basic project structure, including folders for API, script, and test. It also sets up a README, and you can update the README using standard Markdown. This README will show up in the web UI when viewing your service, and we'll take a look at it in just a moment. I'm just going to go ahead and put in Foxx is awesome because it is. Now we can move on to the manifest.json. This just includes basic app information as well as our target MongoDB version. And then finally, we have our index.js file. This is the root file for all our services, and I'm just going to go ahead and paste in our Hello World route. This starts with importing the router, setting up a router for us to use, and then creating our route. To install this, we can go back to our terminal and then run Foxx install, and then we say the mount point. This is where our service will be mounted at. And I'm supplying this -- password. I'll type in my password, and there it is. Now our Foxx service is installed at the hello endpoint. You can make sure it's installed by running the foxls command, and here it is. The Foxx Lunch at version number is showing us the version number because of our manifest information. To quickly test this route, we'll run curl and then just hit the endpoint. By default, it's going to install to the local databases _system database. So we already know the route to hit, and because we supplied the mount point during the install, we know the mount point is hello, and here's our response. And as you can see, we got our greeting back. Now, let's go ahead and make a small change so that we can see what the update process is like. I'm just going to replace world with lunch session. Now that it's saved, I'll come back to my terminal, go to the Foxx install command that I used previously and just change install to upgrade. I'll have to enter my password again, and that's it. Now let's go ahead and run our curl command to see if we're getting our updated response. And there we go. Now we get hello lunch session back. So this is a really brief look at using the Foxx CLI to install and update services. But now we can take a look at what this service looks like in the web UI. We'll start with going to our Services tab, go into the Hello route that now exists, and as you can see, our Foxx is awesome shows up in the README here as well. And if we click on the API, it'll show us our Swagger documentation and all the routes that we've defined in our service. We can try it out, and as you see, we get our Hello Lunch Session response. You can also use the settings to download the source code for this project, delete, replace, or set the project into what's called development mode. Setting the project into development mode opens up the installed source so that you can open this up in your code editor and manipulate the service directly. Getting started with the Foxx CLI is easy and convenient, but some of our awesome community members have taken it a step further. Be sure to check out the following repos along with numerous tools on GitHub that have a Foxx topic. If you'd like to see a great use case for Foxx, be sure to check out Recall Graph to see what a production service can look like that uses Foxx. If you'd like another approach to making getting started with Foxx easier, be sure to check out the Foxx Builder repository as well. There are too many great projects to list, and if you do have a project of your own to share, we'd love to hear it. And again, if you'd like to continue learning more about Foxx, be sure to check out the learning resources I mentioned before, and I'll also put them in the YouTube description below. Thank you again for joining me for this Foxx Microservices Lunch and Learn session.